Protecting your account from hackers and other bad guys, it's not as easy as you think. In the past, all you needed was a password, which were typically 4 to 8 characters in length. Then the bad guys figured out how to break these. Next, there was the idea of using special characters or uppercase, lowercase, or numbers in your passwords. Bad guys figured these out too, which led to the creation of security question answers. Welcome to the Carrie Kursky Show, your partner in the fight against identity theft, fraud, and cyber threats. I'm your host, Carrie Kursky. The purpose of security question answers is to add an extra layer of protection to your online account, a layer that the bad guys shouldn't be able to break, like passwords, by using a supercomputer and a computer program. To set up security question answers, the organization where you have the online account, they would either give you the option of multiple questions, meaning there's a drop-down list and you can choose which question you want to answer, or there might only be one where they ask you the question and then you would provide the answer, which would ultimately become the answer to the security question. This is unlike ID verifying questions. They already know which is the correct answer for you because they're tapping into a database. Security question answers, there is no right answer except for the one that you originally provide. So how do most people typically answer security questions? People are lazy. There, I said it. People are lazy. We take the path of least resistance. We want to do things that are easy and convenient. But that convenience is coming at the price of our privacy and our security. One of the reasons why we want to have that extra convenience is because we don't want to add any more stress or complications to our already crazy lives. Have you ever had your account hacked? I can tell you it's pretty stressful and it's going to take a lot of time. So would you rather be stressed after the damage has been done or have a few little bit of an inconvenience to protect your account so it doesn't happen to you? One of the ways we use convenience is we use real answers when answering security questions. For example, if it says, "What's your high school mascot?" we often use the mascot for the high school we attended. It's easy, it's quick, and it's something that we can remember. But this convenience is the root of the problem. Why? Well, privacy and convenience do not live in the same space. The more you have of one, the less you have of the other. Let's also consider the impacts of social media when it comes to security question answers. Did you know that most of your security question answers can be found in one of the millions, okay, maybe not millions, but it could be, one of the millions of databases out there? Well, where do these companies get all this information? One of the methods? Social media. Everything that you post on social media, and actually online for that matter, it all is harvested, sorted, and then sold. We give away way too much information online, especially through social media. Wouldn't you agree? Here's an example. When was the last time you participated in one of these social media polls or these let's get to know each other games? You know the ones I'm talking about where they're going to ask you questions like, oh, what's the name of your oldest nephew? What was your first car? What high school did you go to? What city did you grow up in? How many siblings do you have? What's your dream car? Or what's your favorite food? While these games may appear to be fun, they're also created to harvest your security question answers. A couple of years ago, a local TV anchor, she posted something on social media and basically was talking about, here was my first car. What was your first car? Well, it all sounds innocent enough, and it was a lot of fun because a lot of people participated. But when I saw it, bells and whistles and the red flags, everything went off immediately. Why? That's a security question answer. So I put a call into the newsroom, spoke to the producer and said, hey, you might want to have her take that post down. Producer said, well, why would we want to do that? And my response was, that's a security question answer for many of the online accounts, including financial institutions. There was a long pause. Actually, I thought the phone might have been disconnected. So I said, hello, are you still there? And the producer says, oh my God, that is the answer to the security question for my bank account. We'll have her take the post down immediately. The TV anchor wasn't trying to do anything malicious. She's not a bad guy. She wasn't creating it to harvest all this information. She just thought it'd be fun to have people talk about what was their first car. But what you post on social media is not private. It's not your private diary. It's not your private chat room or communication just for your friends and family. It is public record. It is public accessible information. So just because it was fun and innocent and there was no malicious intent for this post, bad guys are watching out for this stuff and they're harvesting all that information. Not to mention the fact that Facebook is also harvesting that information. In this day and age, your data has become a commodity. Before responding to any of these online or social media polls or let's get to know each other games, you need to stop and think and ask yourself, how can this information be used against me? You have to start thinking like a criminal to be able to protect yourself from them. Now you know your information is a commodity which is harvested, sorted, and sold on a daily basis. And who's buying this? The bad guys. Why? So that they can bypass the security and get into your online accounts. Notice that I didn't say that bad guys can hack into your accounts. The term hack or hacking is so overused that everyone thinks that anytime an account has been accessed, it had to have been hacked. But hacking only involves where somebody does like a brute force or they're physically, breaking into that using technology. If the bad guy is able to figure out your security question answers, that technically is not hacking into it. It's just you chose a really crappy answer for your security question. So what do? How do you protect your accounts from the bad guys? And how do you protect them from getting access to your security question answers? Well, you might not be able to prevent them from getting access to the answers, but you can change the way you answer the questions. What do I mean? Here's a simple trick to creating stronger security question answers. Now, full disclaimer, I wish I could take credit for this, but it was actually one of my clients. While I was at her home, we were working through all of the identity theft restoration, and we were putting measures in place to minimize her risk going forward. And for one of the accounts, they asked for the security question answer. And when she responded, I looked at her kind of with a confused look on my face. She immediately knew and kind of chuckled and said, "Oh, I don't use my answers. I use my son as my answer key." That's right. She doesn't answer security questions based on how she would answer it. She answers the questions based on how her son would answer it. So her son is her answer key. All she has to remember is that for every security question, her son is the answer key. Brilliant. I told her, I said, "Oh my God, this is genius. I'm going to steal it." And so we kind of laughed about it. She said, "Yeah, go right ahead." But I just thought it was such a simple, easy idea, but yet effective. Why is it effective? I refer to it as the one-off method because you're just creating enough of a distance between you and your real answers, and you're using a method that the bad guys are never going to be able to figure out. They're not going to know who your security question answer key is. Now, there's a little trick to this method. If your answer key has the same answers as you do, kind of defeats the purpose. I was working with another couple, helping them with the risk reduction process, where we put measures in place to minimize their risk of becoming an identity theft victim. And so as we were going through and setting up all the security question answers, we already talked about the husband was going to choose the wife and the wife is going to choose the husband as their security answer keys. Well, when the questions came around, their answers were the same. They grew up in the same town, they were high school sweethearts, so everything that they had about them was the same answer. Don't do that. Pick someone whose answers are slightly different from yours. Or, if you have a choice to choose your security question, pick one where you and your answer key have different answers. So if it says high school mascot and you and your answer key have the same high school mascot, meaning you went to the same high school, don't choose that question. Maybe pick what's your favorite food, because maybe what you like is different than what your answer key likes. So remember, the one-off method. Don't answer security questions using your own real answers. Pick someone that you know very well, and have them be your answer key. So when you answer security questions, you answer how that person would answer it. So tell me what you think of this method. Is it a good idea, or do you think it's going to be complicated? I'm not going to ask you to share with me what methods you currently are using to have stronger security question answers, because I don't want the bad guys to know it. But try this method out and let me know what you think about it. Leave me some comments below. And if there's a topic that you want me to feature in an upcoming episode, put that in the comment section as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time. And what have you done today to protect your privacy?